There you go, Jason.
Dan's making me go first.
It was nice knowing you.
Look out for the pack rats, he says. Oh boy.
Well, hello everyone, Dan Hurd with Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. I'm here at the Midway mine with Jason from Mount Baker Mining and Metals.
Hey everyone, I'm excited to be here on Dan's channel.
We are here at the Midway mine, a gold mine. We are going to find some gold today. We're taking some samples. We're going to go back to Jason's shop and smelt them down and hopefully find some really good grades in the gold ore at this mine. So wish us luck. And I hope you enjoy. So one of the reasons that I've invited Jason up here to the mine today is that I am in the process of optioning off this property to a big mining company in the area. They're sending up some geologists later today to do some sampling, but you know, I'd like to do my own sampling as well to compare it to the mining company's, official assays to see what we actually have before we, make any big agreements with them. Jason and I are going to take a significant sample of the main seam and the secondary seam that's over there, take it back to his shop, and it might take us a month or two to get together again, but we're gonna go back to his shop and we're gonna smelt it all down, process it all down, smelt it down, and see what it has in it. This is possibly some fairly rich gold ore. Now there's a great little story here I got from one of the old-time miners that mined this back in the early 80s. I met him, he was just up here hunting, and he told me the whole story of this mine. He said that they did a lot of work here back in the 80s. They drilled, they sampled, they assayed. There's 3 levels to this mine. This is the top one, it goes down 2 more. And he said the assay results were almost the same in all 3 levels. They mined a bit here, they mined a bit at the second level, and then they mined a lot down at the bottom. They sent away the bottom to the smelters to get the gold out of it, and the smelters came back and said, sorry, you got no gold. Now, the miner said he doesn't know if it was, a bad assay, a bad smelt, if someone was lying somewhere along the way, whatever, but they went into big debt to get that big ore sample from down below sent off, smelted, and they got nothing back for it. So to get themselves out of debt, they went back to the top level, this one actually even above it, back to the top level, dug a small pit where they knew there was good gold, and they sent that away, got the gold out of it, and paid off their debts. So the top pit, which I know exactly where it is, obviously has really good gold. That's what we're sampling today. Let's go up there. And the pit is just right there. But first, let's look at scenery. What a beautiful day. It was pouring rain this morning. These hills are usually just, gray and brown and dry, but this spring we've had so much rain, it is a beautiful green out here. Here we are at the upper pit. Now, the pit here cuts right through the 2 main seams, coming in there, going out there and here, and this is the pit that they dug to pay off their smelter debts. I don't know how much they were in debt, but it sounded like a significant amount. And really, there is not much volume here. As far as a mine goes, this is a tiny amount they excavated. And if this was enough to pay off some sort of debt, those seams must be really rich up here. If you had to guess, how much volume did they take out of here?
Well, let's see. We talked about metric versus imperial, so
yep.
I think it's probably 30 feet, maybe 40 feet by 15 by 10. So what's that? 40 by 20 is 800. By 10 is, what's that? 8,000?
8,000?
8,000 cubic feet? Well, however many that is.
Let's do some math here. 8,000 cubic feet into yards is, let's put it on the screen right now, because I'm not gonna do it in my head.
So roughly that's not very much material. That's not, like you said, for a mining venture, this is small potatoes. I'm actually going to be really interested in the future, probably not for this video, but I want to know if the host rock here may be paying some too. Yeah, the big mining company will sample all of that for sure. Yeah. But the old time miners told me this rotten stuff is where it's at. Okay. And this is just pure sulfides here. Like that is just a chunk of iron sulfide. Yeah, I was looking at some of these. This is really high grade sulfides for sure. Hopefully it carries the gold with it.
And if you see around a few of these yellow flagging tape, the miners from the big mining company have been up here once doing some sampling, as just showing where they took samples from. And of course, we're gonna be taking samples from the same spots today. We'll just make sure that their flags get put back where they should be. What you thinking so far?
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to get into a new claim. Excited to be on one of your videos. This is cool. Let's load up some bags and buckets.
Let's do it. We'll get a bag from there, probably a bag from this quartz seam right here.
Okay.
Because there is definitely a vertical quartz seam going right through there, and it would be definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
Maybe some from the other side? I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
You know this stuff better than I do, that's for sure. Now, if you're not familiar with Jason here, he runs the YouTube channel, Mount Baker Mining and Metals. And Mount Baker Mining and Metals is actually more than just a YouTube channel. He's got a whole business in manufacturing mining equipment.
Yeah, correct. So I own a company, and our whole background is based on manufacturing and selling hard rock mining equipment. And we started with just the mining equipment, but then we quickly realized that our crushers had many other applications. Still, by far, our largest kind of consumer of our goods is miners. And so that's why I'm here with Dan today. We're gonna run a little sample of his stuff, run it through our crushers. You guys will get to see how they work. Dan will get to see how much gold he has in his rock. That's probably for a future video. Yep. But today, we're working on getting our samples set up and kind of doing maybe a little tutorial on if you have a gold mine or you have a site or you're looking for a way to sample your stuff, we're gonna show you how to do that today.
And that's why I said he knows more than me, because he is into hard rock mining. I'm just a prospector. I just find these sites. He actually knows what goes on at one of these sites.
We'll see what we can find today. Going down into the pit here, and we are gonna categorize this into two different samples. This is gonna be the north vein, and we'll take a bag from this side of the pit and a bag from the opposite side of the pit. That'll be the north vein, and then we have the south vein over by me here. Again, we'll do the same thing. We'll take a bag from here, a bag from the other side of the pit over there, and we will sample them both separately. But one of the questions I get asked all the time is, how do you sample veins? How do you sample quartz veins? What's the proper way to do it? So let's do a little bit of maybe a tutorial here on the way I was taught by some mining engineers about how to correctly sample a hard rock vein.
Okay. I just break rock. Jason was just saying, on a vein like this, it's important for overall sample to take from one side to the other so that we can get sort of the cross section of everything, and we're not just taking a high grade sample and skewing our results. So let's get going. Let's break some rock. Oh yeah.
Dan, it is up to you where you want to start. I would call this the hanging wall and this the foot wall. It looks like it dips to the north maybe a little bit. Do you want to start here? Do you want to start here?
I would get closer to, yeah, just because of what those old timers said, it was all in the rotting material.
Sure, yeah.
So let's just stick with sort of the rotting and then just, you know.
From here to somewhere in here, wherever the easy break is.
Yep.
And we'll just get a bucket set up here. Let's move their flag. And I'm just going to start right here on this hanging wall. I'm just going to work my way across. And it is human nature to take the easiest stuff, but it's really important that you get a full cross section width. And now that was a little example of, I tried to take equal amounts all the way across. Now I'm gonna just work up and down until I can get a bucket full, and that'll be our sample from this side. Nice when it's all soft and easy. I've been in some quartz veins where hard as the hubs of hell, and they just, it's really hard.
Breaking chisels trying to break it. Yeah,
that's right. Whereas this stuff is nice.
You've really broken into a section here. It looks like it may have some unrotted sulfides in it. I saw some shinies coming out when the chisel went in, but that's sort of what it looked like before it oxidized up on the surface. Same stuff is in there, it's just the sulfides, those pyrites, still have their sulfur in it. The sulfur hasn't oxidized and gone away and left this rust. It makes it a little bit tougher, a little harder to crush and whatnot, but it's still got the same stuff in it, whether it's rusted or not.
We're getting close now.
Now, before our bucket gets right full from this sample, what do you think about taking some of this highly rusted stuff that's obviously from the same seam, but up a little higher? It looks different, maybe just a little bit higher iron content, but typically gold goes with iron, so.
That's right, yeah, no, I like that. And we'll kind of spread it out. I think the more diverse you can get your sample across the vein, the better.
Yeah, and I really like this one little section right here, just how rusted it went, man. It was just full of iron at one point in history.
Okay, let's see if we can get, you're down in this section right here. Let's see if we can, oh, look at that. That's just red, black. That's good stuff.
Solid rust.
Really soft too.
Now here's a perfect example of the rotted out or rusted out ore that the old timers told us to look for. Said to look for the stuff where the rust has left sort of a spongy looking rock behind, and that's totally spongy looking. It's actually light because so much of the material has sort of gone away and dissolved and, you know, rusted, whatnot. But that's the stuff he told me had the best gold content in it. So that rock right there is definitely going in our sample bag. So when the iron pyrites of these veins do break down and oxidize, the sulfur that's in them, because, you know, pyrites are iron sulfide, they have sulfur in them. The sulfur reacts with the oxygen and, you know, gives off sulfur dioxide. That's that stinky smell you smell around mines, and lets the iron free. Free iron then oxidizes and turns to rust. And that's why so many of these ore samples look rusty, is because the iron pyrites have oxidized and left rust behind. And they do always say that gold follows iron, gold rides an iron horse, gold, there's all sorts of sayings about that, meaning that if you find the iron, you have a much better chance of finding where the gold's at. And we've emptied the bucket into a bag for easy transport. It's easier to carry a bag than a whole bunch of buckets. And I brought the quad today so we can actually transport these out back to the truck easily. We'll just tie that up and the young guy will carry it out of here.
That's what I'm here for.
And before anyone makes a comment, we did make sure there's a very clean bucket that we started with. There shouldn't be much of any kind of contamination from the bucket itself.
That's right.
So one side of the northern vein is done. We're now going to go over to the other side and do another bag from there. So we'll have two from the one vein, and then we'll get two from the other vein. And one thing that makes hard rock mining not quite as exciting as, you know, placer mining is we don't always get to see the shiny gold while we're working on it. The gold at this site is all locked up in sulfides, so it means you can't actually see it until you process it. That being said, I did do some pans of just the material by the main portal, and there were a few tiny specks in there. So there's a little bit of free milled gold, but most of it's tied up in the sulfides. Now they say when sampling like this that contamination is a big problem. You want to really watch out for contamination. So we'll make sure there's nothing left in that bucket when we go off to the next vein. They even say, you know, that prospectors taking samples for assays shouldn't wear gold rings on their fingers, because one little scrape of that gold ring can actually taint the assay results enough to show gold or significant amounts of gold where there is none. So not supposed to even wear gold rings. And, you know, using a fresh bucket every time or something that might, you know, has nothing in it would probably be a better way to go. But for our purposes,
I think for what we're doing,
Yeah.
we're going to be just fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if you're wondering about Jason's high style here, you know, socks on top of the pants, we've been having tick problems this year. My buddy Sibo had a tick attached to him. My dad had a tick attached to him. I had a tick attached to me. And one of the ways to keep the ticks from, you know, crawling up underneath your pants is to put your socks over top of your pants.
And it just so happens that no one told me until I got here.
And another tip for ticks, they do respond to, you know, regular, you know, bug spray, off, those kind of things will actually deter ticks from crawling on you.
Yeah, but ticks are no fun. I don't want
creepy little things.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do our very best to get our quad right up here so we can actually take these bags and put them on the quad and drive them around, because even though the trucks are right there, that's a long ways to carry, you know, 500 pounds of rock. So the rain is coming back to the countryside here, though it looks like it's just, you know, a spitting shower for now. No huge storms coming in. Some of the storms up here that come through can be just a horrendous downpour. Although there still is blue sky over there, but there's also, you know, the grayness. Oh,
look
just
at this.
solid sulfide.
All the way through.
A little bit heavy?
It's very heavy.
Very heavy.
Let me break it open and see what it looks like.
Ow! Ow! Oh, there you. Not really.
No.
It's solid.
Yeah.
Goldish looking sulfides in there. Goldish looking, just the color. It's not gold. It's just, you know, the sulfides have gone that yellowish color.
Let's see what we got in here. Anything exciting? No.
Oh yeah.
There's some.
It's like stringers of sulfides in there.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, although that seems to be solid over there. The first stuff we actually need your crusher to break down.
I know. It's the first rock to put in the bags. They keep going across here, you think?
I think so. There could be gold staring back at us right now. Gold. Look at that. That's just one solid chunk of sulfides. Now, it's not all necessarily iron sulfide, or what we call iron pyrite. I see a little bit of a purple tinge in there, which can actually indicate molybdenum. So there might be some molybdenum sulfide in there as well. Could also just be galena. Both of them go a bit purple. Jason just handed me the rock, and just instantly in my hand, like, it's a, oh, that is heavy. That rock weighs twice as much as what a typical rock would weigh. This is a fantastic specimen of the sulfides from this mine. I think I'm going to keep this one separate from the sample. This one's not getting crushed down and smelted. This will be going up in my auctions as a sulfide sample. A specimen from the Midway mine. Oh, Jason just yelled, what do we got here? So there's something. Something exciting.
That band, it just runs kind of vertical right through here. And you pop it off and it just runs all the way through.
Yeah, you can definitely see that that's, oops, an iron pyrite band right there. It's got a bit of a yellow tinge to it. And then the molybdenite is right below it. Definitely two distinct bands.
You can pull, you know, pieces right out of the vein that are very nice looking.
And it's nice we're keeping this sample separate, because that'll really tell us if the gold's coming from this or from the rotted stuff over there that we were told about.
Absolutely. I was also thinking that the drift just over the hill from us follows this vein.
It's on that vein.
This
yes.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll tell us something. Ooh, we've kind of run into a hard spot in the vein here. It's really hard to get stuff off. Well, we might get a sledge and try and knock some of these bigger chunks off. They're just tough stuff.
This is what it's normally like.
The hard.
Hard like this, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're down through all the oxidized stuff, and now it's down to the hard stuff. Now we've resorted to hand tools. What do you got?
Well, you can see some sulfides there, but you see the quartz above it.
Yeah.
That is, you know, stereotypical gold ore right there.
That's right.
Quartz, sulfides, and gold.
Yeah. It's
bouncing.
It's thinking about it, yeah.
It's thinking.
It's trying. I'm of no help whatsoever right now. cheerleader. Hey! It's heavy.
It's the stuff. That's the stuff dreams are made of.
Yeah. Yeah, look at there. You got some. And we were looking, that might be moly. We were talking about molybdenum. Because we were thinking that the galena would be more cubic, whereas this is kind of purpley, platey stuff. So that might be an interesting thing to look for. And that'll come across on the shaker table. So we'll be able to capture that.
You'll see a line of moly, yeah.
Yeah, yep. If it's in there, whatever it is, it's certainly dense enough.
I'm not sure what it smells like either.
I don't know either. You might have a molybdenum button with a little bit of gold in it.
Yeah. Oh, I need new chisels.
Well, Dan, what are your kind of initial thoughts here after we've taken some material out of the vein? We've got kind of a good look at some of the fresh surfaces. What do you think?
It's a great looking vein. As far as I know what gold ore looks like, this is like stereotypical of what it should look like. So I'm excited. Definitely excited to see what it actually has in it.
Yeah, is this one of the bigger samples you've taken off the property?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
By 1,000-fold.
Okay. So this is kind of the first time you've really got to look at what you got here, and this sample is really going to tell you a lot of information.
Yeah, the only real sampling I've done here is I took some debris like this and panned it out, found some gold flakes in it, and a couple of rocks that I took home and cut on the saw just to see what the ore looked like inside. Nothing more really than that here.
Okay, so this will really give you a lot of good information.
Absolutely.
Good.
Oh. Jason just broke off a chunk that is just straight moly, straight molybdenum. Molybdenum sulfide. Molybdenum sulfide. Molybdenite. This one may have to go for the auctions as well.
Oh boy, what do we got here? Look at that. It's just a streak.
Beauty.
All the way through it.
Yep. Great material for the sample too.
Look at that.
So this bag is only about 3/4 full, where the other ones were right full, but it probably weighs more because it's nothing but that huge, rich sulfide material, and it's heavy.
Oh yeah, very heavy stuff.
Now the other two seams we've been digging have been basically straight sulfides and rotten. This seam here, which is actually right there in the wall, is far more quartz. There's a lot more quartz in this. I think I see some carbonates. Carbonates sort of dissolve with rainwater and whatnot. And then smaller pockets of sulfides that have rotted away. This stuff would be easier to crush and process because it's mostly quartz. But, a little bit less chance of actually having good gold content in it. But it is still worth checking out and seeing what it has in it. Need the chisels. That's the stuff. And those are the kind of pockets you can sometimes even see, like, native gold in and stuff. Not that we have it here, but that's the type of thing that on some ores you really want to take a close look at.
Ooh, that's a good slab.
There we go. Oop, there it is. Great vuggy quartz. Here you go, Jason.
Yeah. Oh. I have to break that one in half, actually, to get it in the bag.
That's not half. It's quarters. And what are your thoughts of the new seam?
Interesting stuff. I like that it's quartz. I don't like that it doesn't have a lot of sulfides in it, but it does have some interesting vugs, like you pointed out earlier. And that is potentially where you'd find some high-grade pockets. But I don't see anything in this stuff, but we will crush it up and find out. Ooh, that was close.
Oh, it just cracked from the wall, though.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So, there we be.
I just can't help but look at them. Every time you break a rock off, you gotta look.
One of these days, you're going to look and see nothing but a sheet of gold.
That'll be the day.
And one more complete sample bag of the quartz seam. We're doing well. This has only taken us a couple hours to get these samples.
Yeah, we're moving along.
Yeah.
I wanna go down and look underground.
That would be fun, too.
Yeah.
So I've come back to the quad here. I'm gonna see if I can take the quad all the way around up top so we don't have to carry these samples down by hand. We can just throw them on the quad and drive them back. I just don't know where to go to get up there. So I may be a while before I'm back. Well, we have the bags on the quad. Now we have to find a safe way down the hill because getting up here was a challenge. And I'm not sure what the best way down is. I went all the way around the hill before I found, you know, a way up. It was not a great way up. I'm out of breath. Carrying bags takes a lot out of me. But anyhow, I'll find a way down. How heavy is that bag?
I'd say 30 kilograms.
Look at you in metric.
Put it in the front there?
Yeah, I think front will balance us out better.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm sure glad we don't have to carry them all the way down to the truck though.
That's if I can find a way down. The way up here was not that great.
Yeah, we might be carrying down that still, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, I've owned this mine for a few years now, and I've never been inside. Other than looking through the chain link fence here, I've never gone inside. What I've been told is it only goes back a little bit before it goes down. Today, we brought some bolt cutters. We're gonna cut our way through. Don't worry, we'll close it up afterwards. Cut our way through, go inside very carefully, and see what's in there to be seen. There's definitely a pack rat. You can smell him. And for those who are saying, Dan, it says no trespassing. I own this mine. It is my mine. I am allowed to do this as long as I keep it safe afterwards. Now we're gonna cut it very carefully down one side, peel it back so we can go in and so we can tie it up afterwards along that same side. And we should save all these little wires because they're gonna be what we use to tie it up again. I think we can squeeze through there.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, if I warned you about Canadian pack rats,
tell me about pack rats.
They're the size of bears.
Okay.
No, we get big rats here, though.
Are they worse than the ticks?
They're far worse than the ticks. They look like little they look like big hairs is what they look like.
Really?
Yes.
Well, this keeps getting better and better.
Oh,
this
yeah.
trip.
Oh, yeah, and you can smell one inside here.
Yeah, like there's a whole pile of stuff there.
Yep, that's a pack rat nest.
Oh, boy.
Let's go have a look. There you go, Jason.
Dan's making me go first.
It was nice knowing you.
Look out for the pack rats, he says. Oh boy.
Okay, so the first level does not go far before it goes down.
Yeah, and you can see the little rays they put in there.
Yeah, it goes down, down, down. This is a pack rat nest, and it is a big one.
So you're saying don't jump across there? And
I don't think I would want to walk on that because you're going to really piss off some really big rat.
Okay. So
but yes.
No reason to look down the hole, but look at all the mineralization here on the left.
Yeah, it's gone yellow. The sulfides have rusted. Well, it's not the sulfur going yellow. It's still rust, you see, but cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's get out of here before we wake this pack rat up, huh?
I'm kind of tempted to look down. Are you brave enough?
Sure.
There's rocks right there, so it's not a hollow.
Okay. Let's see if I can step on the nest. Ooh, there's a rat right there.
You found one?
Yeah, he's sitting on the stall right down there. Holy cow, he's huge. He's got a big fluffy tail too.
Yep, that's a pack rat for you. Big ears?
Yeah, little ears.
Oh, okay. The one I saw had huge ears.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it goes down there, I don't know, maybe 20 feet, 25 feet, and then it looks like it hits another level and keeps going straight out.
That'd be level 2. Well, we're back outside. The rat scared us off. No, the vertical drop scared us off. It doesn't go far back. What is that, 50 feet? Not even 50 feet.
Yeah.
30 feet. 30 feet back before it goes straight down.
Yeah.
And there are 3 levels, but we have no way to get down to the lower levels. The bottom portal, which is, over that hill, is collapsed. But it was still fun going inside. We'll tie up that chain link and make it safe again. And just as these skies open up into a downpour, here comes the geologist. Or SIBO, he's not really a geologist, but he's coming up here to do some sampling. He may have brought the geologist with him, but it's starting to rain hard. Just as we finish off, he gets to go out and get soaked. So the next step with these is to take them back to Jason's mill down in Washington State, grind them all up, and then smelt them to see what kind of gold we have in the ore. But that will be on another video. Stay tuned for part 2. Well, there we go. What a great day up at the Midway mine, getting good samples, checking out inside, just having fun and making new friends. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me that thumbs up. If I haven't earned your subscription yet, I hope I've earned your subscription now. And a big thanks to everyone for watching, especially my patrons. Because of the support of my patrons, I get to make these weekly episodes of Dan Hurd Prospecting. Be sure to check out Jason's channel, Mount Baker Mining and Metals, on YouTube. There will be a link below. And until the next video, everyone, bye!